What is going on, guys? Welcome to the video. I just want to start off by saying happy Bitcoin halving, guys. We've been waiting for this for a long time. I've been personally waiting for this since last cycle. I'm glad you guys are here to capitalize off of this next cycle. If you're in here now, you're going to be seeing insane gains. Price isn't going to go up to $200,000 tomorrow. So I'm going to get into that real quick. And then, as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to go over my top sectors, in my opinion, for the long term in the cryptocurrency space, along with a few projects that I like in both of those. Obviously, some of them I am personally invested in. I invested in them because I believe in them. None of this is financial advice. Do what you want. Let's get into it. So as we can see, it is the day after the halving. Looks like we saw a pretty good green candle right here. You can see we have had our pre-halving dip. Now, what this means is I took the average time that it usually took for all of the previous halvings for price to return to its previous all-time high post-halving. As you might know, Bitcoin has already hit all-time highs before the halving, which has never occurred before. I took the average time that it usually should take, and I got an average of 162 days to reach its all-time high again, which, like I said, we're already there, which is, in my opinion, a really bullish thing to happen. So next I want to take a look at the altcoin sectors, because personally that's where a lot of my money sits. And for those of you who don't know, during a Bitcoin bull run, Bitcoin tends to see significant growth from things like the halving, adoption, etc. And usually you can see, 10x, 5x. Like my prediction is $200,000 Bitcoin. That would be essentially a little over a 2x from where we are right now. But as a lot of crypto natives know, the altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin in all of the cycles just because they're so much smaller. And something that happens is when people make money off of their Bitcoin profits, they roll those profits into the altcoins, which are way smaller market caps. And when liquidity pours into them, their price reflection skyrockets. You can make a lot of money on altcoins. That's where you're going to see your 50x's, 100x's, 20x's, etc. So as you can see, this right here is called the total 3. This is all cryptocurrencies minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. As you can see, it does kind of follow Bitcoin pretty close, and this is the market cap. As you can see, I've marked the halving on both of these, and something that you might notice is that in Bitcoin, we are already at the all-time highs here, but if you look on the altcoin, we're still 70% away from the all-time high of the altcoins. I think we're about to see an insane run in the altcoin sector. I think once the halving is reflected in Bitcoin, I believe with all of the inflows we're seeing now, I think price is going to start ripping in 2 to 3 weeks, and I don't think it's ever coming back down to levels we're at now. But when Bitcoin starts ripping, this altcoin sector is going to fly. This is also interesting data that I captured. What this shows is it shows the total 3 market cap and the Bitcoin market cap. As you can see, 16 days after the halving, the altcoin sector saw a massive 40% rip. And then after this rip, which must have been just an incredible liquidity shift, after this rip, you can see the altcoin sector outperformed Bitcoin. The chart stops here, but it goes all the way to space. So I'm really excited to see if this plays out again. So basically, for the altcoins to start ripping, I'm looking for, I'm going to say 16 days to 20 days. And I think we're going to start seeing some fireworks in the alt sectors. One altcoin that I actually wanted to pull up is a BRC20 token. Now, I think BRC20s are going to be one of the first sectors to really see significant growth. So one that I actually saw last night, this is just a big liquidity roll. This is MultiBit or MultiBit. I believe this is the one I saw last night. It was just a huge rip. 14%. If we zoom out, we can actually see we have broken through this resistance right here, and it actually looks like we're forming a support. I'm going to call this one out as being one that I think is going to go really soon. I think it's going to see a lot of liquidity fast. If you're looking for some BRC20 exposure, I think this is going to be the next one to go. So here's the Bitcoin liquidation heat map again. And as you can see, a majority of the liquidations are on the upside. So I think here in the short term, we might consolidate around the 65,000 level for a little bit, but I see us getting to 75,000 pretty quick. This is the funding rate heat map, and it looks like it is still fully reset. It's all green. Green means go. Super bullish for Bitcoin. As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about my 3 top sectors for this Bitcoin cycle. And those 3 sectors are DePIN, or decentralized physical infrastructure, The second one is artificial intelligence, and then the third is gaming. When I was picking these sectors, I wanted to focus on three main things. The questions I asked were, is it profitable? Is it scalable? And is there a demand or actual use case for this? Positioning yourself correctly in the right narratives can be really profitable, especially when you get there early before liquidity rolls into it. Let's get into this. So the first one is DePIN. DePIN stands for decentralized physical infrastructure. Essentially, this is having a decentralized physical network that is able to work together to be efficient, fast, etc. This can be used in the energy sector, supply chain sector, the real estate sector, transportation sector, but really the main sector correlated to blockchain is the GPU cloud infrastructure sector. So to address, is it profitable and is there a demand? Especially when you look at it from a GPU perspective, the need for GPU power is going through the roof. The demand is exceeding the supply at an exponential rate, and this is due to things like AI and machine learning, which is also another one of the sectors, because obviously AI and machine learning is only going to grow exponentially from here. With the growth of these AI applications, they also need GPUs to process the code behind all of this machine learning and AI. And that takes a lot of power. If you use OpenAI, you may notice that you are limited to a certain amount of prompts per every few hours. This is because there's not enough power to process everybody's entries and prompts all at the same time. This is something that can be solved by DePIN through utilizing GPU power and CPU power from other devices that aren't using this power, and it can essentially be leased or rented off to other major companies, which adds to its profitability. There's a whole marketplace for this. It enables cash flow. It ties to the Web 2 industry. DePIN is just a super bullish narrative in my opinion. I have decent exposure into the DePIN sector. I think you should as well. Super profitable. There's a huge demand and use for it. And then is it scalable? Absolutely, it's super scalable. The only thing it takes to expand is to onboard more GPU power. So the first one is Aether Cloud. It actually hasn't even launched yet. I've talked about this project a few times. They're partnered with NVIDIA, a part of their Inception program. Essentially, they have everything they need, all the tools, resources, VCs, access to money, tech that they would need to be highly successful in the DePIN field. There's a lot of their backers like CitizenX, Animoca Brands, just huge VCs behind this. And what they're really focusing on is the GPU cloud infrastructure, and I think they're going to absolutely crush it. I don't think it's too far to say that they will be the #1 project in the DePIN sector. They have a massive following on Twitter. I don't know. They're just really going to kill it. I believe they're launching their token in May, so definitely pay attention to them. Next is Gaiman. Now, this is very similar to Aether as they're in the GPU cloud infrastructure sector. But the difference with Gaiman is that they're really turning their focus onto gamers and actually using gaming PCs that have extra GPU power and renting that off, which is a very smart thing, I think. So yeah, definitely like Gaiman. They have massive following on Twitter as well. And their token has actually also dropped. As you can see, it's a $58 million market cap. Personally, I think this should be at $1 billion. I think it will reach $1 billion, at least multiple hundred million. Now, the next sector is artificial intelligence. Obviously, artificial intelligence is a really big deal right now. It's seeing so much growth. It has so much potential. I think that it is virtually limitless what can be created with it. So I don't see any slowing down in artificial intelligence, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3. I think putting your chips on anything artificial intelligence right now is super smart. Really, any of the top 5 AI tokens, you're going to be good positioning yourself in. I believe the top projects have seen a lot of growth already, but I believe they're about to see so much more growth than what they've already seen. There are a lot of AI tokens that actually have nothing to do with AI, or they merely have taken ChatGPT and just plugged it into a different interface. So definitely be wary of that. Do your own research on the projects, but for the most part, the top 5 AI projects are legit and actually making groundbreaking tech. So the last sector that I really want to talk about is the Web3 gaming sector. Now, I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory why Web3 gaming is going to be a big thing. As simple as things like ownership and tradability, as well as decentralization. I think gamers have really been waiting to actually reap the benefits of their skills. For example, the Damascus skin for your gun on Call of Duty, that thing is nearly impossible for the average Joe to get. You really do have to know life the game to unlock it. I know some people that have unlocked it. It's super sick. You know, this is something that would be really cool for somebody who has put hours towards the game to be able to reap the benefits of. That Damascus weapon skin could be tokenized and then sold at whatever amount that gamer wants to sell it at. And I think that this would introduce a whole new dynamic of marketplace. I think it would be great for the entire industry, and I think a lot of other people feel the same. One big issue is that every game wants to have their own token, which the Web 2 gaming industry is actually bigger than the movie, the television, and the music industry all combined. And if Web 3 gaming were even to grasp 3%, 5% of that, we're talking billions of dollars. Insane growth. Web3 gaming is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Don't get left behind. Personally, my top pick for my Web3 gaming exposure is Portal Gaming. As you can see, tons of followers. They had a massively successful token launch. Staking is obviously live. I've staked all of my tokens. And what Portal is it's essentially a platform that gamers can sign into, have all of their in-game items, and it all operates around the Portal token, which is the universal gaming token. They already have over 200 games. They have a lot of big partnerships. Here's the Portal token. Looks sweet. A bunch of utility for the token. That's why I believe this is going to be super successful. So yeah, Portal's currently sitting at $172 million market cap. Like I said, I'm invested in a Portal. I believe they're going to kill it. Their team's full of a bunch of good ex-developers and executives at places like Rockstar Games. It was rumored they had a collaboration with PUBG. Nothing official has came out yet, but has been teased. Like I said, do your own research, but this is my gaming play. I feel like it's the new tech, it's the new wave. That is actually going to wrap it up for today. Again, the three sectors that I am super bullish on is DePIN, AI, and gaming, and that is for this cycle. I don't know, this halving's looking really bullish. I really like what I'm seeing. There's been no major sell-off of Bitcoin from minor capitulation. Hopefully we keep it that way. I'll put a bunch of links in the description. So yeah, that's going to be it. I will see you guys at my next video, and just do one thing for me. Stay DJing.